everybody, Avana Intuitive here with our weekly predictions and of course our 3-card pick. To get started, I want to remind everyone that this is for entertainment purposes only. If something resonates, that's fine. If it doesn't, that's fine too. But let's, and I want to thank all my new subscribers. Thank you so much. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. And also, if you want to know where I'm going to be and what I'm going to be doing, hit that bell and get my notifications. As we know, Mondays I do my 3-card pick a card shorts. Tuesdays I do Super Duper Girl. I channel Super Duper Girl. Wednesdays, today, predictions and a 3-card pick. Tomorrow is the energy read with a 3-card pick. Always love my Thursday energy reads. They just really, there's always something revealing about those. But anyway, and then Friday weekend read with a 3-card pick. So let's get started without any further ado. As usual, I am using the Radiant Rider Waite, and I'm going to start saying Smith because she did the artwork on it. The Radiant Rider Waite Smith tarot cards. That will be what I'm going to pull from. I will get a clarifying card on my questions here with this Golden Insights Oracle. Nothing wrong with this deck, but I always feel it's like accurate, but it's got like, you know what? I finally figured it out. It's got like an edge to it. So it's a cool deck. So anyway, and then 3-card pick this week with Angel Tarot cards with Radleigh Valentine. That's a 3-card pick. So to get started, I wanted to pull some cards. I woke up one night, and this was a few years ago. I woke up one night and I saw a dark figure at the end of my bed. I'm like, oh. It looked at me like I couldn't really see it. It was just a dark figure. I knew it was like it was a man, and it looked big and like kind of like a knight, like in shining armor, but it wasn't shiny at all. It was all dark. Okay. And I read that is called and I couldn't do anything. Like I couldn't scream. I couldn't do anything. It was kind of scary. And I read that these are called night terrors. Now, it never happened before that I can recall, and it hasn't happened since. This was a few years ago. But what was it that I saw? And as I just want to make sure, I could not move and I could not scream. But I'm pretty sure my eyes were open, and I was like, what is that, right? So let me see if I can pull a few cards here and, just get some cards on what exactly was it that night that was, standing there at the end of my bed. Of course, these cards now, usually I get cards that are really great. These cards are going to be a little difficult, I think, to interpret, but let me get a clarifying card. So let's see. The reason I'm laughing is because of the last card, which I will... Oh, interesting. Okay. First card that I get this 2 of Pentacles. This is like juggling things. Juggling energy, resources, money, time. There's some stuff maybe going on overseas, but okay, juggling. All right. I don't know how that really fits in with, but let's keep moving. Then I get this Page of Pentacles, and this is like learning, moving forward, having that fire in your butt, learning about something, moving forward. That's what I'm doing right now, learning about what in the world, was this entity. I got the Fool card. This is kind of like starting a new adventure, isn't it? And I'm just thinking that a couple years ago was when I started my tarot channel, or my YouTube channel. And I'm just thinking that, maybe that happened around that time. I don't know, but this is like jumping off the ledge, having faith that the universe is going to catch you, but moving forward, kind of knowing like I'm ready to go, but you don't know all the answers, right? Of course, I have, this beautiful, white rose. I'm ready to go, whatever. So I'm ready to move forward. Moving forward too in something good. I mean, this is like this 8 of Cups, yeah. Moving forward, but not having anything destructive. Like this is almost like when you take a new job, your old job, because you left, well, of course, because you left, but let's put it this way. I always want to act and think that, once I leave a job, everything goes kablooey behind me, but it never does. We're all expendable for the most part at work. I mean, people come in, they can learn our job. So this is leaving, like moving on to something greater. This is interesting. The other card that I got, the bottom of the deck, is the 7 of Cups card. This is like spoiled for choice, having a lot of different things going on, things that make sense and things that don't. And isn't this interesting? Look at this figure right here. I'm not saying this is what the figure looked like. Oh, wow. This is really wild. Okay, so this is like almost like knowing that this is me with all these different things going on. And this is this figure kind of just looking and like protecting, right? Saying it's time to move on and do bigger and better things or different things. again, moving forward. And I love this because I'm really getting such a much better feeling about that, because then I got this arrow as a clarifying card, and it says movement, direction, achieving goals, and reaching your target. Well, okay, right? Moving forward, having a lot of goals, reaching goals. So you know what? I'm glad I did this reading, because I almost feel like that entity was there almost like as a, instead of something that really kind of gave me night terrors at the time, really, which it was kind of like scary. Now that I'm doing this reading, it's almost like this was an entity just coming in to say, you have a lot of options on the plate. You're narrowing down, getting some options, moving forward. And you know what? Here you are moving forward. We're right behind you, right? This energy's around you. You have a lot of options moving forward, walking away to something better, right? So I'm kind of glad I pulled these cards, because it now gives me a whole new perspective on that energy. And now I'm like, I'm not scared of it anymore. It's like, oh yeah, it was like an energy that came by to say, hey, it's time to move on. And it's okay to move on. You're gonna, not that I'm that successful or anything, I get that, but you're going to be successful. You can take a leap, because you're gonna be fine. So, all right, that was the first one. Now, this is the second one. So I know I've told this story before, but I want to pull some cards on it just to see, and just to, this is almost going to be like a yes and no pull. Hold on, I just dropped a bunch of cards. Hold on. Sorry about that. So a couple years ago, we had to put our cats down because they were very old and very sickly. We put down one, his name was Gabriel, and then we put down the other one, his name was Honey. Well, about 2 years ago, I was sitting at the kitchen table, and my husband and I were getting ready to eat dinner, and we were talking about stuff, and I remember thinking, I'm really enjoying this conversation, and I had a salad in front of me, and it had a lot of kale in it. And kale is fine, but that much kale, I can't stomach that much kale. So I knew I had this big salad with a lot of kale, but I had brought a smaller plate with me to put, so I thought, as I get to the kale leaves, I'm going to put the kale leaves on the plate, because I'm not going to eat all of the kale. So as I was eating, and I was eating, and we were talking, and I was putting kale on the plate, okay, and it was actually getting to be a pretty high pile of kale on this plate. My husband, all of a sudden, the kale shot towards me, a piece of it, and it was a lot, okay, and they were big pieces of kale. And one piece fell on the table, and one piece shot past me and landed on the floor, at which point my husband said, "Did you just see a cat run by?" And I'm like, this was all happening in a split second. And as I was getting ready to say yes, I remember thinking, a cat just ran by me, okay? Because the kale went flying, and I'm like, I just had a cat run by me. Now, we still have 3 cats, and I thought, well, maybe the one cat got up and ran across the table, because I knew the cats were in the living room on the other side of the house. I could see them from the kitchen table, but I was like, well, maybe that cat ran, the one cat ran and ran up, jumped on the table and ran past me. But that cat that I was thinking that did it, in fact, all 3 cats were still sleeping in the sunshine in the living room. So I said, yeah, absolutely. In fact, I said, because he said, did you just see a cat run by? And I'm like, a cat just ran by me. So anyway, I thought that was really cool. So I wanted to pull some cards on that, because I'm going to pull 2 cards. I don't know if we're still wondering if it was Gabriel or if it was Honey. Gabriel was a big old cat. Oh my gosh, he was great. They were both old. There's no doubt about that. But he just really had such a laid back personality. But then we had Honey, and he was a boy, and he was a Siamese. So I'm going to pull, we were always wondering, was it a cat? Yeah, I think that there's no doubt about that. But, oh my gosh. Okay, so let me shuffle these cards. I'm just going to do a yes or no on, was it Gabriel? Let's see. Yes or no. And then we're going to see. And it probably won't be too clear. Okay, I got it. Okay, I'll show you these cards in a second. So was it Honey that ran by us? Oh my goodness, hold on. These cards are like flying, okay? Just so you know. There's not a doubt in my mind that, these cats are still around the house. Oh, I love this. I love this. Okay, this is... Was it Gabriel? I got this card, which is moving to smoother waters, moving away. Kind of like, you know what? I've crossed over. Yeah, I'm still visiting, but you know what? I'm moved on, right? Was it Honey? Look at this. This is Knight of Cups. bringing the messages forward, because I've always said it was Honey, the Siamese cat, and he's kind of like, oh, I don't know. But this is kind of like Gabriel's like, listen, I crossed over and it's all good. And you know what? I'm loving life, still with you guys, but loving life on the other side. Gabriel's like, yeah, I'm still bringing you some messages. Or Honey, rather. Honey's like, yeah, I'm still bringing you some messages. So which cat was it? I'm going to say it was Honey. Those were great cards to get. I'm glad I got those, and thank you, Gabriel, and thank you, Honey, for giving me those answers. I really, really appreciate it. So now my next question. And this I've done, and it's worked for me. Well, I've done a couple things that have worked for me, which are really cool. The first one is, I don't know if you've ever heard of this, and I just heard of this about 6 months ago, sending out like your runners to get you like a good spot, like for a good parking spot or a good seat at a theater or a good seat at a restaurant. So what it is basically, I guess, you know, I'm going to assume this. I'm liking this idea that we have angels and entities that are called runners, okay, and they want to run out and do stuff for us. And oftentimes I will say now, hey, can you please go and get me a good spot? In fact, we were at a restaurant. We were in Cleveland and we were going to a restaurant, and I knew there was going to be parallel parking and on-street parking, and I am not a good parallel parking person. And I sent out my runners, and I said, as we drove there, I was driving, I'm like, oh my gosh, me parallel parking. And I said, please go out and get me a good spot. Let me just get in, you know, I can just something I can pull into easily. When I got there at the restaurant, right in front of the restaurant were literally 2 empty spots. I was able to like I was in the left, I had to U-turn, but I was able to pull in, back up, you know, get the car in. Just as I got into that beautiful spot, which was 2 empty spots, cars everywhere except for right there, another car pulled in behind me, because of course it was 2 spots. But not only did I get right in front of the restaurant, I had 2 empty spots, and that other car did not pull in until after I was like parked. I was, you know, getting my purse and things, and then another car came in. So that's my runner story. So I'm really trying to like use runners as I need to, like to get moving, get things going, have a good spot, you know, whatever. And I thank them. By the way, when I'm done, and I'm like, oh, thank you so much. Totally appreciate it. So now, the other thing is slowing down time. Every now and then, I know it's hard to believe that, you know, I get behind, right? So I was like, well, I'm going to ask, you know, can we just slow time down so I can get everything done? Now, I really do believe that when I have a full to-do list, on days when I have a really full to-do list, I really do believe that I used to get frustrated, like, I have to get all this done. And then I've learned I will get done what Source wants me to get done, right? I mean, that's it. I'm not going to get done anymore. I'm not going to get done any less. Whatever is meant to get done today will get done. However, sometimes you really do have to get a couple things done, and time is running short. So I've asked to please, you know, I'm like, please, you know, my spirit guides, please slow down time. You know, I have to get these things done. If I could get them done, you know, in the next 40 minutes or whatever, 20 minutes, whatever, that would be great. So that's actually has happened. So my question is, you know, can we really slow down the time in our perspective? And actually, I'm just hearing, yes, you can, because it's your perspective. We are each actually making up our own, you know, we're creating our own reality. But so we can slow it down. But I slowed down time. I said, listen, I got to do all this stuff. I'm going to be 5 or 10 minutes late. Was able to get it done 5 minutes early. Again, I assumed it would happen. I said, I need time to slow down. Please, you know, please, guys, I need time to slow down. I need to do these 4 things, and I have to, you know, have it done in the next 20 minutes, whatever. And then I just forgot about it, went about my business, looked, got everything done, had 5 minutes to spare. And then last part, gratitude. Again, thank you so much. I totally appreciated it. It was so great. Not only did I get everything done, I was able to be like, oh, good, crossed off my to-do list, the things I had to do, but I also had 5 minutes to spare. So my question here is, can we slow down time if we are running late? And if we ask, and if we assume it's going to happen, and then of course, if we give gratitude. But you know what? I'm gonna leave those cards that fell out. Oh my gosh. Just as a quick yes. Oh yeah, I love this, right? Here we are sitting here with our schedule. Like, yeah, whatever. I have 15 things to do here. More things being added to my to-do list as we speak, right? So kind of, and getting into that like a little bit of an attitudinal mode. Like, I'm not going to get all this done, right? But then I got this card, this Page of Wands card. Moving forward, wands are creativity, creating time, moving forward. having the faith that it's going to happen. And then I got this 4 of Wands card, like completing the cycle, like you're going through underneath this arch, you know, getting everything done. Here's where you need to be in 20 minutes or in a half an hour. But you know what? Everything gets done, a beautiful garland. So can we slow down time? I actually have had that experience now a few times where I feel like, I'm not saying that I have personally slowed down time, but definitely I either sped up like crazy or something happened because I was able to get everything done. And I said, you know, and I don't rely on it. It's only, you know, it's not how I live. I don't push it, but I have had that experience like 2 or 3 times now where I've done that. And it really, really, really is. It really seems to have worked for me, but that's the process I use. So if anybody else can use that process and maybe buy themselves a few minutes or get a few things done, totally cool. All right, so now we're going to get into our 3-card pick. Again, I am using these Angel Tarot cards by Radleigh Valentine. Let's think about what our question is while I shuffle. Whoa. Let's think about our question. Let me go. I'm going to tell you what, there is a lot of energy flying around on these cards, on this set of deck, on this deck also. So here we go. Let me give a couple more shuffles. 1 card flew out, and I am going to use that card for card number 1. Let's see. All good. Okay, here we go. Card 1, card 2, card 3. Think about which card resonates with you. 1, 2, or 3. All right, my friends. If you picked card 1, you got this Ace of Earth card, and it says the inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, important documents or contracts. I love that. Ace of Earth, a new beginning emotionally, a new beginning with health, with wealth, you know, moving forward. Of course, doing all the checks you need to do, getting the attorneys involved, whatever, doctors, physicians, whatever you need, going the traditional route, absolutely. But knowing that you have this beautiful, new, fertile beginning. So I love that for you. If you picked card 2, you got the Page of Earth, and I will read. It says, scholarly, dependable, patient, and successful. Good news about financial matters, wanting to do something more challenging, a new area of study. Page of Earth, again, yeah, training, moving forward, learning, having that fire in your belly where you're like, yeah, I want to do some new stuff. So maybe, you know, if you want to sign up for a new training class or something new is really beckoning you, it might be worth it to look, you know, to move down that path. And if you got card 3, you picked the Star card. And this says the Star, Archangel Jophiel. Happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans on the right path. I love this card for you if you got it because, and the 17 is like 8, that adds up to 8, which is like infinity and, you know, just things moving, right? Just as they're supposed to move. And I love it for you. Happy times and on the right path. So there you go, my friends. That's our 3-card pick. I will see you tomorrow for our energy readings. Namaste.